Hello, my friends, and welcome. Yes, it's another lesson with the older man. Today's lesson, my dear friends, is why is it so hard to get a date in today's market? Yeah, a lot of ladies are complaining. Men as well, men as well, but the ladies are very vocal about it. Men are complaining that they're not finding anybody serious. Women are complaining that they can't find any good men. There's a distinct difference. Women are looking for the top men. Men are looking for women who just not throwing it around to each and every single man out there. So today I thought I would examine this problem and see if we can solve some of these issues. So I want to open with this one young lady who's upset. And of course, she's over on TikTok. She's upset and she's expressing her pain to the internet as she drinks. I don't know, is that an energy drink? I don't know. But anyway, let's listen to what she has to say.
I am so tired of feeling like it's never going to be my turn to find love, and I know that someone out there knows what I mean right now. Like, I know I'm overreacting to this specific incident, but this is like the fourth time this has happened since I re-downloaded the dating apps earlier this month and decided, you know what, I'm an adult. I'm going to try and get like an adult relationship and actually do dating for once. So we match, we talk for a while, we plan the date, right? We can't do that day. We move the date to this day. Totally fine. I go, how about 5:30? Reasonable time. Let's actually get dinner. Like, let's commit to this. This seems promising. He goes, okay. Then he texts me and goes, can we actually do 6:30? Because I have a meeting. It's going to run a little long. I'll be able to do 6:30 instead. And I said, that's a little bit annoying because it's a tad bit late. I'm going to be starving, but that's fine. So today's the day, right? 5:45 rolls around. I've just finished doing my hair and makeup and I get another text from him going, hey, I'm running late again. Could it be possible that we move the date to 7 again? So I text all my friends, both guys and girls, just to make sure I'm not crazy and go, do I allow this? And they go, no. Moving it.
Oh, gosh. All right. Number one mistake she made. She made a date with a guy that's busy. More than likely, this is a Chad. This is a very responsible guy. He has responsibilities. That means more than likely his schedule isn't his own. Number two, you made a date that requires you to get your hair and makeup done and for you to be on a very tight schedule instead of a coffee date, a get to know you date. So obviously this is a date that every woman wants. The guy takes her out for dinner. Because she don't want to eat anything. She don't want to eat anything that would, destroy her appetite. Because she needs to make sure that she's going to spend that money on that 3-4 course meal. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So this little whiner here, because this is all I'm hearing, is she freaking whining. Because she's under the man's schedule. And she wants her dinner. I want my dinner. Ladies, understand when you come with this crap, you have just put yourself in a different category for men. And you're complaining that you can't get a date? But you know what? That's just me. Let's listen to what else she has to say.
Once, maybe, twice, that's where I would have stopped it, but a third time? Absolutely not. I'm starving at this point, and that's just disrespectful of my time. So I send him a little respectful, you know what, hey, don't even sweat it, like, you enjoy your evening. It's pretty late already, and I am starving, so I'm just gonna eat. And he keeps texting me, and he's also, like, now trying to guilt trip me, being like, I'm not going to enjoy my evening, like, but... So red flag, bullet dodged, I guess, in the long term. And usually I would just let it go. However,
All right. If a guy genuinely could not make the appointed time, he's going to talk to you. He's going to make you know that, hey, man, I genuinely could not make it. He's not trying to make you feel bad. He's being apologetic. Imagine if he had just not said shit. Just, you know what? I couldn't make it. Don't say anything else about it. He's trying to make amends. He's trying to make you feel that, hey, I'm spending time apologizing to you and trying to make you know that I genuinely could not make it. But no, you're listening to your friends. More than likely, single-ass friends who are telling you, you know what? He shouldn't disrespect you and you should be more respectful of your time. People are busy. Everybody have a freaking schedule. And if you find a date or getting a relationship an important part of your life, you should put a little bit more patience into it, young lady. This so-called, oh, I'm so delicate, he's gonna make me wait. Bet you'll wait for the right damn man 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damn times. Obviously, this man was not at the top of your list, and you felt that you could do better. So you get onto TikTok and you criticize the shit out of this man. But of course, this wasn't the first guy you did this to. Let's hear how many other guys you did this shit to.
However, I have planned like almost 4 or 5 dates now since I re-downloaded the apps. Almost every single time, this is exactly what keeps happening. They keep pushing the date back until I just have to say, hey, I'm not going anymore. Because that's disrespectful as my time and me as a person. And like, I know this isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it especially feels like it really digs into that childhood wound of like,
oh Lord, these little snowflakes, Gen Zers, drives me insane. Man, my day I had to ask the woman out 3 or 4 times before she even get it, bloody. How many times I invited my wife out? How many? I don't know. I remember she didn't even look at me the first time I looked at her. She dismissed me like a cockroach. Yeah, no, whatever. It was almost a year later after I actually met her again, and with some persistence and some charm, you know, had to throw in that Caribbean charm, right, babes? She don't want to say anything, right? The point is that relationships take work. The problem the apps create is that it gives you the illusion of choice. So she said this happens to her 3 or 4 times before. The reality of it is apps create absolute and total delusion when it comes to relationships. You think you have a tremendous amount of choices. So it's obvious that she's choosing men who are busy, more than likely, higher value men who have choices. They can brush her off if they want. And then she gets disappointed when these men play with her time, whether they're playing with her time or they're too busy. So now, apparently, this has brought up childhood issues. Wow.
Digs into that childhood wound of like, no one's ever gonna love you. You're never gonna find anyone who loves and respects you. And it's like, why does this keep happening? Like when you make a plan and you say you're gonna show up at a certain time, and maybe it's just me, I need you to show up at that time. I need to know that you are a person of your word and that you can show up for me, especially like early on in the beginning like this. It's just a big thing for me, and like trusting people and consistency. Shout out childhood wounds. Why is it so hard to find a man who respects you and your time as a person? These are some very bare minimum standards to be setting, and why does it feel so impossible for them to meet? Like, I've had enough. I'm exhausted. It feels like there's absolutely no end in sight. Everyone on this planet deserves someone who respects them and their time and treats them well. And I'm not even asking people to like move mountains for me anymore at this point. It feels crazy. Like these boys and dating are genuinely starting to make me feel crazy.
Ooh, man, I'm exhausted just listening to her. The reality of it is she needs to bring this down a bit. She needs to have more patience. This dating market is hard. It ain't for the weak. So if she can't even make it to the first date, she is obviously knocking or trying to grab fruit way too high above her, because that's obviously men with choices. Because men who are serious, they're going to make every single effort to make that date. It's not them, it's you. Let's hear a few comments. Let's hear what women have to say. Zoria said, I've given up, so you're not alone on this. Yes, you see, this is where women like to follow that narrative. You know, if it happened to you, I'm going to tell you it happened to me, and you're not alone. And then all of a sudden, everybody feels like, okay, if we're not alone on this, then it's okay for me to do it. Don't listen to this crap, ladies. Understand that all relationships are difficult to get involved with. My suggestion, start out simple. A simple coffee date. Half an hour, meet the guy. Try to do it like on a weekend, like on a Saturday, Sunday. If it's after work, it has to be something like a casual drink somewhere in a bar. Sit down, get to know the person. Nothing convoluted where you have to get freaking overly makeup. Most men don't want to see you in your Sunday best or so made up he can't even see under your makeup. Keep it simple, ladies. Keep it simple. Gentlemen, keep it casual, clean, neat, smell good. TC said, the apps are so hard. Good luck. Yeah, for men it's hard. For women, no, it's not hard. You just got to learn to stay in your lane. You all are just picking all the top men. And those men have choices. But there's a lot of good men out there that you're missing. Kyla said, had a guy unmatch me, block my number the day of the date a few hours before we were supposed to go out. Ghosted and flaking on plans sucks. In other words, that man either found something else on your social media that said, huge red flag, and he said, hell no, and he wasn't mature enough to deal with you directly and said, listen, I changed my mind. Or he just found someone else, meaning you picked outside your boundaries and outside your league, and that man had another choice. Those are the only two things that men would actually ghost you and block you for. Or you said something really stupid in your text, which is rare that a man would block you for that. Okay, so this is another video that I found interesting, and this woman is explaining why it's better to date European men.
The 3 reasons why European men keep stealing your girl. The last one might piss you off. Number 1 is that they're all fit. They take care of their bodies and what they put in them. I will say Americans do have cuter faces. Sorry, European men. But the European men here are running circles around you guys, literally and figuratively. 2, their style is unmatched. They don't wear just like a t-shirt and jeans. They just look so much more put together. And number 3, I might get a lot of heat for this, but they just take more risks than American men. They aren't afraid to approach or go up to a girl and start talking to her. I'm talking so much confidence. Sometimes they would approach not even speaking fluent English. I'm doing this video because I see a lot of guys saying how they want to move overseas to improve their dating life, but just know that if you do that, the men you'd be competing against are in tip-top shape.
All right, let's take it one by one. Number 1, European men are in better shape. That is true. Well, not really the UK. The UK, oh man, they're expanding like they're big. I'm telling you right now, the UK, the obesity rate is just skyrocketing. It's just nuts. When I leave from here to Dubai to go back to UK to visit my wife's family, I walk through the mall. They are big, man. They are fatter. If you want to see fitter people, come to Dubai. Dubai, a lot of the people here are incredibly well put together. Yeah, people here are not that fat. So when you say European, we need to clarify. Definitely not the UK. I was in Greece, 4 or 5 years ago? 4 years ago. They are a lot slimmer until they get older. The older women, yeah, they don't age well. But a lot of the men, they work hard. A lot of people move a lot more in European countries. In America, there's too much sitting. But in Europe, people walk a lot more, especially in big cities, right? Dressing, though, by far, Europeans, hands down, people dress a lot better in most European countries. UK, like I said, it's becoming almost more Americanized. So it's shifting. But Italy, France, Greece, Germany, all those countries, they dress a lot better than Americans. Now, as far as men competing with Europeans or men going overseas to European countries, they don't. Passport bros don't go to European countries. You do not leave a country like the US where the US dollar is worth less in European countries when you're competing against the euro and the pound. Hell no. They've just lost almost 20% of their value when they have earned US dollars and go and spend that in Europe. That's number 1. Number 2, in a lot of the European countries, feminism has infiltrated. It isn't as bad as the US or Canada, but it is still pretty bad, especially in the cities. In the countryside, anywhere, it's different. The majority of passport bros, the men who go overseas to find women, they're going to countries like the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, all the Asian countries or Latin American countries where their dollar can stretch a lot further. That's the idea. Their value as men increase. If you go to European countries where your dollar decreases, you're literally cutting your own throat. Because you got to remember, these men are looking for conservative women and to be able to provide for those conservative women a lifestyle that they are not accustomed to. And because these men know that these women are going to be looking for them for their money as well. Men aren't stupid. So they got to know that their dollars are going to stretch further. And that brings you to the last point. She says European men are willing to take bigger risk. Yes, they do not live in the US or Canada, where the Me Too movement was born in America, men aren't taking those risks anymore. America is the seed, the birthplace of all the majority of the inequality towards men. The divorce laws are the worst. Everything is bad against men in America. So that's the reason why men are not taking the chance with marriage or relationships in America. And so when you say the men take less risk, they don't approach, yeah, they're smart. Because in Europe, it's still open season. Men can go up to women and say, hello, ciao bella, hello, you're beautiful, bonita, beautiful, beautiful, you're crazy, you're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yes, try that shit in America. Get away from me, you creep, get away from you. How the hell are you talking to me like that? They're not insulting in Europe and in a lot of these European countries. They're not insulting their men online. They're not doing that crap. I hope this lady understands, and I hope you guys understand that this is what's happening. So I just thought I'd bring you guys these two clips to sort of just, a quick synopsis on the relationship market as we now see it. It is rough out there as far as relationships are concerned. If you have a relationship where, you know what, you're getting along 55% better than it is bad, keep your ass in your relationship. Work on that 45% that's not doing well. Work on it together. Because I can tell you, getting out here in this single market, it's a nightmare. Be thankful that you're getting 55% of the good stuff in whatever relationship you're holding on to right now. Trust me on this. Especially you ladies who think that you can jump ship and go to another man, a better man. It's dismal out there. Men are not committing. Stay in your damn relationships. Trust me. Work it out. Work on it. Because it ain't pretty out here, my friends. All right, so I'm going to leave it on that note. Subscribe if you haven't. Please give me a thumbs up on this particular video so that the algorithm can treat me with some respect. Okay? Log in to askanolderman.com. Book a chat with me if you have any problems in your relationships. If you want, information or help with your YouTube channel, fitness, weight loss, you join our community. It's free right now. I'm going to start opening it up and making all of the information available soon. So join up right now. It's free. So my friends, until next time, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.